What's up, everybody? I'm out here working on my truck.
Check it.
And was actually thinking, I've had a lot of comments to me personally through direct messages about my video about adverse childhood experiences that I made yesterday. And a lot of people resonating with the idea of Victorhood, which I sort of debuted there. It's something I've been talking about for a little bit, and probably making t-shirts about it here pretty soon. But the idea of victorhood is really sort of rejecting the idea of victim mentality, even if you've been a victim in the past. And we've all been victims. We've been victims of decisions that are made by other people. We've been victims of our own decisions. But that doesn't mean that victimhood has to continue, and that you need to adopt a philosophy of victimhood. Instead, I call it Victorhood, which is the idea that regardless of what you face in the past, whatever obstacle that you're going to overcome. And this really hit me when I was about 23 or 24 years old. I had sort of grown up in a difficult environment that my parents had created, with a lot of drug addiction and alcoholism and abuse and all these things. And quite honestly, being put by my parents in situations where you're sort of surrounded by predators, and people who are looking to take advantage of people. And, that made me pretty pissed for a lot of my young life, and just angry. And even when my mom got clean, because my mom got clean when I was just about 17 years old, and she started sort of getting her act together, I was still really angry at her. And so when she would expect things of me, I'd be like, no, you do it. You're the one that needs to make up for time lost, not me. And anytime I had failures, and I had a lot of failures because, I was intellectually capable of succeeding, but the circumstances of our lives were not such that they don't really lend themselves to you being successful, to completing your homework and following through on things and seeing something through and not quitting. I quit a lot when I was younger on things. And when I was about 23 or 24, I just kind of had this, actually my wife was one of the people that said something to me, because I had said something to my mom that was pretty disrespectful, and it was in front of my wife, who was my girlfriend. My girlfriend of only like a month at the time. And my wife's like, how long are you going to punish your mom for what she did when you were younger? And it's a really important thing. You're like, yeah, that's a good question. How long am I going to punish her for this? And then I thought beyond that, how long are you going to use what happened to you when you were younger? And there's innumerable reasons to be upset and excuses, right? That are based on things that happened to you when you're a kid and things that you're exposed to and traumatic stuff, really bad stuff. How long are you going to use that as an excuse for why you quit, or why you didn't pass this thing, or why you failed that? And I just thought to myself, is your childhood going to perpetually be the excuse for why you fail, or the reason why you succeed? And having is the reason why I succeed sounded a hell of a lot better than the excuse for why I failed. Because what am I going to be? I'm going to be like some 50-year-old person who's blaming the stuff that happened to me when I was a kid. I have agency. I'm in control of my own decisions. And while I may have started, relatively speaking, behind maybe some of my peers, and that was a big issue for me, is that I felt, in my early 20s, I was like, everybody else has already graduated from college. I haven't even started college, and they had a leg up and all this stuff. And it's like, well, many of them didn't have a leg up. Many of them came from things that were way worse than my situation. And so I was just like, you know what? Stop using it as the excuse, and use it as the fire. Not the fire that's lit underneath you, but the fire that burns inside you, right? I said, you got to mainline some rocket fuel to this fire that's burning inside. You got to get that furnace going. And so that's what I did. And so I went all out, beginning literally at that moment. I just said, okay, that's it. I'm flipping the script. And I'm lucky in that my brain sort of works in that way, where like, if I make a decision, I'm like, I'm going to do this, then I'm just going to go do it. Like, that's just how it is. And so, that's what I did. And so I adopted sort of this, what I now refer to as victorhood and victor mentality, as a complete script flipping of the victim mentality. So I encourage you, if you're coming from something that's challenging, to adopt a similar philosophy.